guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a new style of video for you guys. Like I promised in my previous video, can't remember which one it was. Basically, I've been talking and I've been thinking about trying to change my style of videos. I mean, I'm hoping that there'll still be more makeup videos in the future or fashion related videos, but I am starting to plan different types of videos, like the previous one that I just did, my little mini talk show, which I think did pretty well considering. But anyways, let's focus on today's topic, which is a topic that I feel very passionate about, to the point where this is why I decided to make my first video in this type of style based on this topic alone. And I've been thinking about it for weeks, and yes, I could have written a script, and yes, I could have planned this video a lot better, but instead I am just going to wing it and hope that it turns out good and I'm making sense. Because when do I ever prepare for anything in life? Ever. Like when? And why am I using my hands so much today? I don't know. Anyways. So today's topic is why I don't play games. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about games and board games and video games and sports games and all that, even though I really don't do that anyways. But no, I'm talking about why I don't play games when it comes to dating. But yeah, this is basically a video about why I hate dating in this time. I could go on about dating in this time, in this society. I can talk about how social media makes it so much harder. I can talk about how just technology and dating apps and all that. I could talk about all that, and I could in a future video specifically about things why I don't like dating apps. I actually was thinking of a video of doing that later, so I can talk about that later. This video is basically to everyone who I'm sure meant well. I'm talking to you, family, friends, co-workers, people that I kind of know, old friends. I'm sure you guys all mean well when you guys tell me that I should not and should do certain things, or should not do certain things, or shouldn't say certain, shouldn't act a certain way. I get it, but this video is basically to you all of why I just don't want to do all that. And yes, there's probably a reason why I'm single, and clearly maybe it's because I haven't followed all these rules, but I am so tired of following certain rules or doing certain things to just find somebody. You know, it's hard out there. It's exhausting, guys, putting yourself out there and then constantly not finding that one person who appreciates all your quirks and weirdness and silliness and all that. And I just have so much love to give, you know, and it's hard when you are being told that what you're doing is wrong. So this is the main thing. I'm going to be talking about the main 3 things that I hear constantly of what I am doing wrong, or what things I should be doing, and why this drives me crazy. Number 1, it all comes down to phones. One of the things I hear constantly is, Jessica, don't text them that. Jessica, don't reply that much. Or Jessica, be careful with, there's so many rules when it comes to texting, and it's mind-boggling. How is it possible that us as women are supposed to get a text, and then you're supposed to wait to reply to the text because God forbid that you seem interested. God forbid that you were just happening to be waiting for that text. Like, I don't understand that. So when a guy texts you, you're supposed to wait. So it's like there's a calculation that you have to do. Like, it's just so confusing. Like, you have to, and I've seen like magazines and like dating, like dating articles or whatever, or even people told me like, oh, okay, if he texted you at like 4 p.m, then you have to calculate, okay, it took him 3 hours to reply, so then you have to add an hour to that. So of course you have to be like, okay, you have to be super busy, or you have to pretend that you didn't see the text. It's like, what? Like, that's weird. Like, that's weird. Like, how are we gonna deny that we're constantly on our phones? Like, you can't not be on your phone. Like, that's just how it is in 2018. Like, we're always on our phones. And yes, maybe I'm not denying, like, there are a few hours that yes, I won't be having my phone. I'm at work or I'm at school and I can't be on my phone. I understand that. But like, why do we have to do that every single time we get a text? Like, why do we have to pretend that we didn't see it? Like, do you guys understand what I'm saying? And it drives me crazy because sometimes I'll be waiting all day for that text because I'm like, oh my god, I want to talk to this person. Like, it's new, it's exciting. Like, I want to get to know this person more. And then I think, okay, like, let me wait. But wait, what if I don't wait? What if I text right now because he might be available like in the next half an hour, and then he's gonna be back to being busy again because maybe he's working or maybe he's just, you know, busy. And then I'm just like, oh, but then what if I miss that opportunity of us having like an actual conversation instead of, you know, like the, hi, what's up? 4 hours later, good, how are you? 4 hours later, I'm good, what, how was your date? 4 hours later, oh, well, I'm going to bed. So, you know, do you understand? Like, sometimes it's just waiting and taking forever to respond. You can't even hold a conversation. So like when you're able to be on like your phone at the same time as that other person, it's nice because you're like, ooh, constant texting, yeah. It's almost like a phone conversation. And oh, don't get me started on phone conversations. Phone conversations is weird. Like, you can't really like call people. Like, it's kind of weird to call people nowadays. And like, I get it. Like, I like phone conversations with certain people. I don't really like having phone conversations with other people. But like, when you're dating, like, you kind of want to hear the voice of that person because it's like, you know, it's like exciting. It's like, oh, I haven't like heard their voice in like 4 days. So like, I kind of want to call them. And then sometimes you guys can have like phone conversation for like 2 hours and you can be like, wow, I can talk to this person forever. But then also, like, as a girl, like, I can't just like call up a guy without it kind of being weird, you know? So like, it's just weird. And then like the amount of time, the amount of things that you can text somebody, it's like, I actually had somebody who was like scrolling through my phone, like text messages, and they were like, Jessica, oh my god, you text way too much. And I'm just like, what do you mean? They're like, look at your text. Like, they're literally just texting you like one sentences and you're texting like paragraphs. And I was kind of like, yeah. And they're like, Jessica, like, you can't do that. You have to just text like one word answers. And I'm just like, but like, you know how I text. Like, I text exactly the same way to you. So like, why do I have to change how I text to that person? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Because the way I text is like, I like to text exactly how I would have a conversation in real life. And if you can't tell by this video already, or my previous videos, I love talking. So I'm not gonna just be like, hey, someone asked me like, hey, how was your weekend? I'm not gonna just be like, oh, it was fine, I'm chill. It was fun, it was chill, whatever. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, yeah, it was pretty good. Like, I had to go to work, and then I will literally tell that person how was my weekend, as if I was talking to them in person. And so I guess it doesn't come off good when that person's only writing one sentence, but it's like, maybe that's just how they text. Like, why am I still holding my phone? Like, that, maybe that's just their texting style, you know? So it's hard. And I've heard it a few times. Like, I understand where they're coming from, but it's like weird. Like, it's a weird concept when you think about it. Like, do guys think about this as much as girls do? Like, I'm so curious. Like, I'm actually so curious because I don't really hear guys stress about that much, and maybe they do and I just haven't really heard it. But like, why do girls have to play it so cool when like it's like somebody you like, so you want to talk to them? So why do I have to pretend to be super chill and cool through text? If I'm not really like that, why do I have to change my texting style to somebody when I text exactly the same to all my friends? But don't get me wrong, okay, I don't mind like not texting all day, but like, obviously I want to have a few words of communication, and that's why, like, if I'm dating somebody who's not the best texter, it's very frustrating that like I get that text all day, but then I'm being told like, oh no, you have to just wait a little bit, or don't seem too eager because God forbid someone thinks you're interested. So I mean, it's kind of dumb to me that like I'm kind of like compromising by just expecting like, yeah, we don't have to have a conversation full on all day because, you know, we're both working, we both have lives. I'm a student too. Like, I really shouldn't be sitting down waiting for a text every like 20 minutes. Like, it's not really reasonable. So it does, if anything, it helps me out not having to text constantly. But if I do get that rare text, you know, throughout the day, I don't want to wait a certain amount of hours to text that person back. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna usually text when I can. Other than phones, the whole just like actually being on dates and hanging out with that person, this is not really like stuff that I hear from like friends and family, because I mean, I guess no one's really told me. I have been told that like I rush things, and I'm just kind of like, that's dumb, because it's not just me. Obviously I'm gonna act a certain way or want to see that person a certain amount of times and gonna go on dates and stuff if that person clearly is like giving me the same amount of energy. So don't tell me I'm rushing things, because yes, maybe in like the standard normalized thing, it is kind of strange to by like 2 weeks you being like, yes, I like this person, and like, you know, I kind of see something happening. I'm not crazy, I'm not saying like, you know, it'll be official within like 2 weeks, but like I think like if it works, it works. There's no point of like, you know, putting a time stamp on everything, like, oh my god, it doesn't matter if I like this person, it doesn't matter if this person and I are clicking within 4 months. It's when we're gonna make it official. Like, I don't really care about, like, that doesn't make sense to me either. Like, no, if it's gonna work, if it works. If we're taking it slow, and it's like, it seems like it's a type of relationship that needs to take time, then it's good. We're gonna take it slow. It's just like, you kind of have to feel out the moment. But this is something that I see a lot in media and like movies and TV and like in like, you know, magazines and articles and things like that, where it's like you have to play it cool, like hard to get, like hard to get. That is the one thing where it's like, ooh, you're playing hard to get. And it's like, why? And I saw this, someone, what was it? A YouTuber, I'll put her video thing down here. She said it, and she said it, and it was like, yeah, why do I have to trick someone into falling in love with me? Like, that's weird. Because if I'm tricking that person into thinking that I'm somebody that I'm not, then they're not really falling in love with me. They're falling with this idea of like the whole playing hard to get. It's like, I have to act a certain way so that person can chase me, because God forbid, again, God forbid that the guy thinks you're interested, or the God forbid that you show your emotions or your feelings towards that person, because then all of a sudden a guy doesn't want you. Because why would a guy want a girl that's like way too into them? Because like, oh my god, she's clingy. But it's like, what? Like, what? Don't you want someone to be interested in you? So I'm supposed to pretend that I'm not interested in you, and then I'm supposed to like take, like, if I see you on a date, I can't be too eager, and I can't be like, you know, myself, because that might not interest somebody. You know, like, I'd rather just be myself. I'm a weird ass person. Like, let me tell you, I'm kind of weird. I'm really weird. I'm really silly. Like, I like being silly. I like joking around. I'm a very like an energetic, dramatic person. Like, that's just how I am. So like, if I had to hide that because that might scare somebody off, then like, I don't want to be around that person, because then how long do I have to hide that? Like, so what, like 6 months in, that's when I really can show that person who I am? But then that person might not like it. Like, that just sounds too tiring and no, too much energy for that. So that's why I am all about acting yourself 100% from the minute. Because if you put all your cards out on the table right from the beginning and that person doesn't like it, then you're saving yourself time. You're saving yourself so much energy and time and like tears, because it's gonna eventually fail. You're putting this show and then you're not presenting the real self. Recently I was seeing someone and it didn't work out. And as much as it sucks, you know, sometimes that's just life. You meet somebody and that person just isn't ready for something serious, and for once I didn't want to just hope for that person to change, because, you know, I just learned that, you know, you can't change people. Like, that's just how it is. If that person wants to be with you and that person wanting to put effort and time and stuff, they will, and a lot of times it has nothing to do with you. It's just they're in that moment in their lives and you can't do anything about that. And so that was just basically the situation. But what I got from that situation was that I was able to be myself 100%. From like the moment I saw them, I was kind of funny because they kind of slowly realized that I'm this really weird, dorky person. Like, the more they got to know me. But it was just so nice. There are only a few rare people in my life that I have been able to just feel so comfortable with them from the moment that I met them. And he was just one of those rare people for me. And I appreciate that, because in the beginning, it was fine, and you know, like, I didn't have to stress about stuff. I didn't have to worry about things. I was able to be myself. If I wanted to see that person, I was able to be like, yeah, like, let's hang out, like, let's see each other, and like, and I was getting that back. And in the end, it got to the point where I thought that it was going to be a situation where I've been in so many times where somebody's just not interested anymore and they're just cutting me off, and I was just so ready for it to be over, because it was just a roller coaster of emotions. And I got told by a lot of people, and again, I understand why they said that, because if I was their friend, if I was my friend looking at this situation, I probably would have thought the same, like, move on, just don't even bother with them anymore, like, they're being rude, whatever. And like, let me tell you, I read a lot of like dating articles, even though I give them a lot of crap for being crap. I can't help in like research things and like, oh my god, am I the only one in this situation? Because I gotta just know how other people deal with their situations. Even though a lot of times their advice seems like really crappy, because I just not how I would deal with situations. So a lot of times, like, so again, all those things were telling me like, oh no, this guy is just literally not interested, like, get out, don't even bother, like, you know, like a lot of them were just saying walk away from the situation. And I was this close to doing it, and I stopped myself because I knew that that's just not who I am. I'm not the type of person to just like, okay, fine, if you're not gonna talk to me, then I'm not gonna talk to you, you know. And I reached out to that person and ended up being one of the nicest conversations I had. One of the saddest conversations I've had in a while, but also really nice because I was able to clear things up. I was able to express myself. I was able to express how I felt, and I was able to hear that that person, like, literally was just a misunderstanding. And you know, in the end, you know, it didn't work out, but you know, things happen, like it just doesn't work out. And I just think like, oh my god, if I listened to the advice or I listened to these articles and things, who knows what would have happened. I would have been miserable. I would have not known what happened. I would have felt awful just leaving somebody without, what if that person thought that I was the one just being rude and cutting them off? What if I didn't reach out and I didn't talk to that person? That person would have been so confused, because it ended up being a misunderstanding. They would have been so confused. They're like, why is this girl cutting me out? Like, I don't understand what I did, blah, blah. Like, just, I just think about like how bad that could have been. And I'm just so glad I didn't listen to them. I feel like a lot of times it is harder for a girl when it comes to dating. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is hard, guys. I don't know. But I feel like a lot of times we're told as women to adapt to the guys. And it's really frustrating. Like, here, let me use this article I have here as an example, okay? This is an article called, not an article, whatever, it's an article from this website called lovepanky.com. How to make a guy like you by making him want you. And there's like naming a bunch of reasons. And two of my favorite ones is number 8. Leave him halfway through a conversation. For a guy, it's always nice to date a girl who's easily available, but after a few conversations, the guy may lose interest in trying to impress you or getting you to stay longer. Every now and then, excuse yourself from the conversation just when it's getting interesting and walk away. Always leave him wanting more, but leave him with a very flirty smile or a cute, I'll miss you wink. That wink was probably horrible. Leave him thinking about you for a long time after you're gone. And then number 9, don't make it obvious that you like him. Never acknowledge that you like him. Not at least until he says that he likes you first. Talk to him, flirt with him, compliment, but shy away from telling him that you're falling for him. Always make it appear like he likes you when he flirts back with you. Even when he asks you whether you like him, deny it. It may seem like you're playing too hard, but you're only making him fall harder for you. Great advice. Great advice. So they basically name a lot of other cringy things. And in the end, it ends with, it's easy to get a guy's attention and make him like you, just as long as you remember to play it safe, slow, and cautious while using these 12 tips on how to make a guy like you by making him want you. Awesome. So all you have to do is 12 specific things that you're showing him that, yeah, I'm basically giving you these signs to make you like me, but I will never, ever, 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 ever initiate anything. I will never tell you that I like you. I will never start a conversation, and oh my god, God forbid I actually stay for a full conversation, because I have to make you want me, because I have to make you like think that I don't like you, but I secretly like you, but I can't say that I like you. Like, that's just, why? This is just an example, and maybe it is probably not the best example, but I've seen so many things like this, and I've been told, like just play cool. In conclusion, I've learned that through my own experiences that it feels so much better being yourself and putting yourself out there, just being yourself. And if that person doesn't want to put that effort, that person doesn't want to be with you, that person is just not for you. Do you want to look back at a relationship and think, wow, if I didn't do these 12 tips, if I didn't do everything, that I didn't text this, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, that person wouldn't have liked me? Wouldn't that kind of suck? Or like you're basically just like it just doesn't make sense. And it's okay if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not judging you. If it works out for you, I mean, good for you. Clearly, I mean, I'm still single years old now, like, you know. If you are a believer of those things, that's cool, but for me, it's just not for me. And I'm sure that one day I'll find somebody that will appreciate all that. And then hopefully I'll find somebody who just the same doesn't want to play games and it's just, you know, upfront with their feelings and upfront with things, and then, you know, it'll work out. I'll work it out eventually. But to give this stuff credit, because, you know, it should be fair, I shouldn't just be bashing all these things, there are certain things that are kind of important. It's true. You know, I may say that I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to want to initiate things. I don't mind asking somebody to hang out. I don't mind asking somebody out, you know, and like, you know, not waiting for somebody else, sitting down, waiting for somebody to keep asking you. But there gets to a point where you do have to have some self-respect, where, you know, you have to realize that, you know, if this person is not interested in you, then there's no point, and you just back away. You know, you have to like kind of learn that balance, because if you keep initiating things, then that person won't, and you won't really be able to tell when that person isn't doing it. You know, just because you're not playing all these games doesn't mean that you're not also willing to step back a little bit when that person might be pulling away, or might be also not being 100% into the situation. And I think that's when you're allowed to be like, okay, you know what? If that person did not want to message me within, let's say, a week, then I don't feel like it's fair for me to message that person right away, because then at that point it's almost like you're just taking advantage. And you're almost just like you're always just expecting me to be around and being like, oh yeah, here, I'm always going to be waiting around for you, because that's also not fair. That's also when you kind of have to put your foot down. But then, you know, eventually you realize that, you know, that person's not really worth your time, and that person's not treating you with respect. You should be busy. Don't make that person your life in your everyday moment, because then that's also unhealthy. So if that person isn't answering you, don't just be moping on your bed and being like, oh my god, it's done, it's over, I have to just sit here and wait until he texts me or calls me or asks me out. You have to also make yourself busy. Don't make this person your #1 priority, because, you know, if it's gonna end, it's gonna end, and if it works out, it works out, but you shouldn't change your whole life towards this person. So, like, make yourself busy, continue with work, continue with school, hang out with friends and stuff. Don't make that person, because then it just becomes unhealthy as well. And I feel like I saw that a lot, so it's like, I feel like that's also very helpful advice. It's basically the end of my video. Thank you so much for reaching the end of my video. I hope I made a little bit of sense. I honestly sat down thinking that I knew what I was going to talk about, but I realized this is a lot. I have a lot of feelings about this topic, and I thought that I would be able to make sense about it. So I hope I was able to help out a little bit. I hope I was able to explain myself. I really want to film this video because I feel like sometimes it is frustrating, and sometimes it does feel like it's not going to work out, and being yourself is not enough. And it sucks that you have to feel like you have to portray yourself a certain way, or you have to pretend to be somebody that you're not for someone to like you. And I just want to let you know that it could work. Just be yourself, and someone's going to like you for you. You're probably an amazing person, and, you know, it's going to work out. So if you want to feel like that's the way that you want to do it, and, you know, you don't want to seem super eager, then that's fine. You know, I, on the other hand, cannot act that cool for too long. It's too much work. I'm too much of a mess to do that for too long. So, you know, I'm gonna keep trying. So hopefully it'll work out. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you want to see next. Tell me if you guys have any ideas for videos. If you have any questions, let me know down below. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye!